All the markets yesterday finished in positive territory. The Dow was up 105. Right now, it's looking like they're going to open about flat or negative. But the Dow closed 105, so that was good news. The S&P up 11. So President Obama this morning indicating that our work to end poverty is far from over. You know what? Here's what I wish. I wish that his work to continue to expand poverty were over. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? We have had we've had every day since this president has been in office seen the poverty rate of the nation go up. Food stamp usage go up. Disability benefits go up. Every month, every day, every week since he's been in office. And his work to end poverty, listen, if that's what his work looks like, we're in big, big trouble. Big, big trouble. Because never in the history of the nation have we been in a recovery from any recession or depression where the poverty rate continue to go up. This president is talking about income equality. Never in the history of the nation, in any recovery from any recession or depression, has the median income of the American family gone down, and it's been going down for 10 years. Never has that happened. I mean, it's I don't know. I feel like sometimes I should just laugh about it that, he says these things, but it's such an insult to the average person that has paid attention for the last 5 years. Just drives me crazy. German manufacturing orders surged in November. That's good news for Germany. So the Eurozone unemployment rate hanging in there, unchanged today at 12.1%. That is the rate of the European Union, those 17 nations that are on the Eurobloc. The unemployment rate still unchanged, 12.1%. Is that better than ours? Is that worse than ours? I don't know. They obviously don't use the same calculating factors that we do, or theirs would be 7% too. Because ours got to be 13.5%. Anyway. Let's go to the phones. 866-300-9298. 866-300-9298. If you got a call, you want to weigh in. Let me go to George. George calling us from New Mexico. No, maybe not. George, hang in there. We're having some issue there. Oh, there you go. Okay. George, you with us? Yes, sir, George.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, I think this income equality is the greatest idea I have ever heard. It's the American idea. Listen, where can I put my name on the list? Because I want to have the same income equality as President Obama with all his perks, and or the highest paid congressman with their salary and all their perks. Whichever is the highest, put me down as requesting equality for that. I think it's wonderful.
Well, you're going to have to get behind me on that list, George, because
you're already first.
I'm already on that list, man.
Oh, man.
But here's the thing. I got a better shot than you because I'll take the lowest paying member of Congress and let's just equal everything out there. I'd be fine when you add in all the perks and everything else they get. I mean,
man, I tell you what, see, I can come out of retirement. I forget this forget the Social Security. We'll just dump that in the toilet, man.
Or bring it up at least to what is equal to everybody else is making, right?
That's a good idea.
There you go.
I am so excited. This is the greatest American idea I have ever heard of in my 73 years of living.
Well, George, I got a feeling there's more great ideas to come yet out of Washington like this, unfortunately. But great stuff, George. I appreciate you calling, as always, and weighing in, brother. It is amazing, and I think that everybody needs to get on that list for that equality of income. It's amazing. And if I were a very highly compensated or wealthy individual, then I would also seek equality from a tax standpoint too. Because if we're going to get income equality, can we get some taxation equality? Wouldn't that be nice? Because, I think it's only fair that if we are going to be the nation of fairness and equality, that it ought to go across all areas. Crazy. 866-300-9298. If you want to join the program, let me go to Thomas. Thomas calling us from Alabama. Hey, Thomas.
Hey, sir. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Well, I seen a real nice old documentary called "Runaway Slave."
Mm-hmm.
It really goes into the highlights of the entitlement programs of how they was brought into this nation.
Thomas, I'm going to put you on hold because you got a bad connection, and I heard you say something about Runaway Slave documentary, but that was all I got. So you must be on the move with your cell phone there, so we're going to get right back to you after the next caller and see if we can't get you back up. So hang on. Let me go to Drew in North Carolina. Hey, Drew.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing okay.
I'm calling out of North Carolina. I'm a U.S. Marine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 3 years away from retirement. And my question is this: how do we get the jobs back? The ones that we send. Now, I'm not worried about the immigrants coming over here. I ain't worried about them. I ain't worried about all that trash. What I'm worried about is getting the jobs back that got dismantled. The infrastructure that got dismantled before.
Right.
How do we get the jobs back, like building cars and building things and the manufacturing base that we had that made us powerful back in the day? You could send a kid to college on a job. You can get a job out of high school working at the steel mills. I'm from Gary, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a job working at the steel mills, and you can send your kids to college without getting a whole bunch of crazy loans and all kind of stuff. I mean, the whole system's got us all bent backwards, and sooner or later, this Obamacare is going to be out of office.
Yep.
And who are we going to have to stick it to or to blame for this trash? Is killing me. And I've been fighting for this country for 16 years. And I want to know where's the jobs going to be for me and my son when it's time for me to retire, and it's time for these guys to, my son, he's 3 months old.
Yeah.
Where's it going to be for him? I don't want to blame the Democrats. I'm sick of that. I don't want to blame the Republicans. I'm sick of both of them, to tell you the truth.
Yep, you and me
I'm sick
both.
of both of them.
You and me both. Well, here's the thing, Drew. There's plenty of blame to go around for that. In my opinion, and in a lot of economist opinion, getting those jobs back is not going to be difficult. And we are actually, the fact of the matter is, have seen somewhat of a resurgence in America in some of the manufacturing sector. And I think that's primarily been due to a lot of the foreign automakers building plants over here in America because of the import-export issues being so expensive. It's become less expensive for them to build their cars here. So we're starting to see some of that and other things. So there's a couple things that we've got to do. And unfortunately, this is the scary part. Unfortunately, it depends upon a will of Washington to create an environment to bring them back. And here's what that means. It means not less regulation. It means getting the regulatory system for small business, large business alike to be fixed, that it's not a constant moving target. That's number one. Second, we need serious tax reforms that will incentivize foreign corporations and incentivize American corporations not to go where, it's cheaper and more helpful for the bottom line to manufacture somewhere else. We need to incentivize that. Then we have got to, and that's going to be a different tax structure. It's got to be, we can't be the highest corporate tax structure in the world and expect our manufacturing base to grow. It's impossible. Going back to 1919, presidents have said that. Democrats, Hoover, John F. Kennedy in the 60s, made it very clear that we have got to have a fair tax system in order to have some sort of growth. Then the biggest thing, the real silver bullet for America is when you look at, as you pointed out, to a resurgence in the industrial kinds of manufacturing jobs, and you're right about what you said, you could put your children through college through those jobs. Well, the industrial age is over, yes, but we are sitting on a silver bullet called the energy revolution. We had the industrial revolution. We're sitting on a silver bullet for the economy of America called the energy revolution, and we are squandering it. We have no desire to enter into a revolution where we should all be paying $2.50 for a gallon of gasoline, where we could be net exporters of distilled products, not crude oil. I think that would be a mistake for Americans' economy, but distilled products, diesel fuel, jet fuel, gasoline, ethanol, all those kinds of things that we could be exporting. The reason you don't want to export crude oil is because that's not going to create half as many jobs. Where if you start building the refineries and the factories and the capacity to export distilled, it's going to create hundreds of thousands of well-paying jobs. We are sitting on a 40-year prosperity revolution in energy that we being Washington, D.C., refuse to enter into. And that's what it's going to take to bring the jobs back to America. And we don't have the will in Washington. We have a bunch of clueless politicians that have no concepts of even basic economics 101 and what it's going to take, because all they care about is winning their next election. They don't care about the American people. I don't care about all the garbage from the Republicans to say they do or the Democrats to say they do. They don't care a lick about the American people. Don't tell me that this president, this Congress, and I'm talking about Republicans and Democrats alike, care about poverty. If they cared about poverty, we wouldn't have poverty, because they'd be creating jobs and incentivizing those people that are living in poverty to work. We would have education programs for those people so they can get out and get the jobs that are now available to them. I agree with you. Immigration's not the issue. The only issue with immigration is that if you're going to bring more people in this country that are seeking out the opportunities like my father did, my grandfather did, as they did, and my mother's parents as well, they came here seeking opportunity. The problem is, if we bring people in seeking opportunity and there is no opportunity because of regulatory burden and tax structures on small business and a lack of will to create those jobs, they're going to be a part of the entitlement program purely out of the necessity to eat and to put some sort of roof over their head. It's going to be counterproductive. So when the jobs are there, immigration becomes a moot point. It's not even something worth talking about, because there's going to be plenty of jobs for all the folks that want to come here and work and enter and be a productive citizen of the United States of America. So listen, I hate to keep, look, I don't want to keep throwing this, at the foot of the steps of the Capitol. I don't want to do that of Washington, D.C., but that's where it belongs. People say, well, we're never going to change because you have a dysfunctional government. And I say this all the time, and I'll say it again. We don't have, the problem is not a dysfunctional government. It never has been. The dysfunction that we have in government is the effect. The cause is a lack of leadership and abilities that from the legislators that we have in Washington, and the effect of that lack of leadership is dysfunction. So let's not talk about fixing dysfunction. Let's talk about fixing the leadership deficit that we have in Washington. That's the problem. Brother, long answer. See what you did? You got me all riled up. Not that I needed you. And I want to say thank you for your service. I sure appreciate it. Let's see. We got a minute here. We got a full board. I'm not going to get to the next call. I'll wait till after this break, so hang in there. We're going to try to get back to Thomas that we lost. 866-300-9298, 866-300-9298. You're listening to American Family Radio, Financial Issues. Let's see what the markets did as they opened. They opened in negative territory. The Dow is down 31 right now. The S&P down 1, NASDAQ up 3. So we've got a mixed bag here. We look at commodities. Oil has been headed back up. I think, frankly, folks, it's down right now, but it's up over yesterday. It's at 93.64. I think that we're going to be looking at $91 to 105 as a trading range in crude oil all year long. I don't think we're going to see any changes in that unless we see a major interruption in the flow of oil or a major pickup in demand. And I think that's where we're going to probably be. By the way, gold, silver, both down. We'll be right back after this.